And unfortunately, what that means is that unless something else changes, our incomes will be lower than they otherwise would have been. They'll grow, but they'll grow along a low. This was the old path. Now there's a new path, which is below the old path. There are things the country can do to try to bend that curve up, but those aren't things monetary policy can do. These are more structural changes. I mean, fundamentally, as a senior deputy governor has hammered many times, we need to get our productivity growth up. And if we can do that as a country, we can bend that curve up. So, I mean, I think what's most concerning is that unless we change some other things, our standard of living as a country, Canadians, is going to be lower than it otherwise would have been.
Canadians, you've been warned. There's a wave that's coming in this country. The wave of socialism. That's right. Socialism, where everybody gets the same amount of income, the same amount of pay. We depend totally on the government. It's coming. It's coming. Bank of Canada has given us a warning that we must accept a lower standard of living. Dear Mr. Bank of Canada, thanks, but no thanks. I do not accept a lower standard of living. I'm sorry. There may be situations where I am living in a lower standard of living. God forbid, I've been there already, not trying to go back. But there are situations where you're at a standard of living and it's not where you want it to be. But I refuse to accept it. I refuse to accept it because there are many, many thousands, millions of people in this world that are making a whole lot of money and they got the freedom to do so. And excuse me if I'm trying to make it there myself, but I don't need no bank of no country telling me that I gotta accept a lower standard of living. Especially when we got a government in this country that tends to spend money wherever the heck they want to spend it to. But when it comes to Canadians, they don't want to give nothing to Canadians. They want them to depend solely on the government. In that case, let's look at who the money that Canada dishes out to. They dish out to the Ukraine. They dish out to South Africa. They dish out to Bangladesh. They dish out to Pakistan, Ghana, a whole bunch of countries with a total of about $12.29 billion recently that they've dished out. This is coming from a nation that apparently has no money. A nation that apparently is $40 trillion in debt. And our population is only 40 million people. So this government's got to figure out where their priorities at, and we already have an idea. They got this globalist standpoint that you got to dish out to other countries, but when it comes to your own, you don't want Canadians to hit that millionaire level. You don't want Canadians to succeed. You don't want Canadians to thrive no matter what the situation is. I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with it. I will not accept a lower standard of living. How about you just take less money that you're giving out to other countries and start putting it towards your own country? When we walk downtown and we see people living in the streets and ain't got nowhere to live, or they got to live, but they're strung out on drugs. You got people who can't pay their rent and end up being in homeless shelters. You got people who are trying to get a job so they can make ends meet. But when they apply for a job that's minimum wage, you got thousands of applicants applying for that one little job that pays minimum wage. And that minimum wage, after even working for a month, can't even pay for rent in this country. But you want me to accept a lower standard of living. How about you, the person, Mr. Bank of Canada? How are you living? Are you going to accept a lower standard of living? How about you answer that? Give me a freaking break, man. And it's things like this, it just pisses me off. It pisses me off. Don't tell me how much money I should make. Don't tell me that I can't succeed and I can't have dreams. You're pretty much telling Canadians, stop dreaming. Stop dreaming of financial success. Stop dreaming of financial freedom. Get the bleep out of here with that mess, man. Let me know your thoughts. All right, because this stuff pisses me off, man. It fires me up, man. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not a socialist person. I'm not socialist. I'm all about looking after those in need, but I don't want someone telling me how much money I can make, even if I'm not there yet. I'm just not. I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with that. Like, share, and subscribe to Born with Purpose. Yo, I'm gonna go get some coffee or something. Or you can tell I already had some coffee. I'm just gonna. All right, go Blue Jays, go. Like, share, and subscribe. Talk to you later. Peace.